living a passionate life, it's giving your all to everything. Whether you're waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth, or whether you're roping a calf, or whether you're doctoring an animal, do it 110%. And when you're passionate about something, you just want to. It consumes your mind, it consumes your life, and you just keep pushing forward and persevering through whatever may come your way. I'm Nathan Smothers. I'm a fourth generation cattle rancher. We are in Bartow, Florida. Yeah, I think it comes as a big surprise to people that, oh, Florida cowboy, what is that? I mean, I've never even heard of one of those things. Everybody thinks of Florida as, Disney World and sandy beaches. But how I grew up and what I've seen my whole life, it's swamps and cattle land, and you see Florida panthers from time to time, you see bobcats and the wildlife, and it's so underappreciated just how fast everything's getting developed. People build houses all over the state, and if you're in one of those populated areas, you may not even know this part exists, and you could be living here, and people come out and see it and they're like, wow, this is beautiful. And it's such a rare piece of heaven in the state that not a lot of people even realize is here. Sadly, I see the life of, a Florida cowboy. It's slowly dying out. And I hope that there can be a rise. I hope that we can all pull together and, somebody that wants to learn the lifestyle, put in the work to be able to learn how to do it and learn how to do it well. I feel like the generations coming up now, it's hard to put work in and not see results, if that makes sense. And as of like a cowboy, you work very hard every day, and if you might not see results for 5-10 years down the road, and I would just challenge people to just work hard and sometimes just persevere. And it's not necessarily about how you feel about it in the moment. Think about how it might affect you years down the road. Yeah, I would say the best part about being a rancher is seeing the fruits of your labor. Starting January, we put our bulls out, and the cows begin to get pregnant, and then you see later in the year, calves start to drop, and you see the calves start growing up, and then you end up selling, and you just see all your hard work pay off every single year, from the birth of a calf to the time it goes on a stock trailer and pulls out of the property. And then just being involved in seeing natural Florida, being able to see the cypress trees and the pine trees and the oak trees, and the beauty behind it. And it's so fleeting in Florida nowadays, just being able to be involved in it and being able to preserve this little piece of heaven, hopefully for my kids one day. When you work so hard for something, it develops over time, and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into the land. You put the blood, sweat, and tears into the cattle, and seeing your fruits of your labor, it just kind of puts a spark underneath you, and you just want to keep coming back for more. There's days that are not glamorous by any means. I've been waist deep in a swamp trying to fix a fence, and that is not the most fun thing to do. But at the end of the day, driving off of the property into the sunset and seeing the beautiful creation, I mean, man, you can't beat it. No excuses. I mean, I feel like a lot of people make excuses for, oh, well, I don't have enough time for this, or I don't have enough time for that. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps and do it. Do the hard thing. It's not all roses and fairy tales. I mean, you just gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps and keep on pushing, one foot in front of the other. Conservation, it's a huge passion of mine. One, because I would love my kids to be able to enjoy the things that I did growing up. But on top of that, between hunting and fishing and being an outdoorsman, a lot of people don't think about it as, you're harvesting a deer or, you're catching a fish. And a lot of people would think that's the opposite of conservation. Well, you want to be able to provide the best kind of population in the future for people to still be able to enjoy these hobbies. And so whether that's protecting the lands that these animals are on, for me personally, I want to conserve it because I would love to be able to see cow pastures all over the state. And sadly, developers are coming in and it's harder to keep these pieces of land alive financially because people have been farming their whole lives, and all of a sudden here's a check for however much money, and it's hard to say no if you're the owner of it. But I feel like if you're grounded in what you're passionate about, and for me it's keeping the land alive, maybe money's not the biggest thing in the whole equation. It's just being good stewards of the land. I started taking pictures right out of college. I'd be on the ranch. I got a little vlogging camera, nothing fancy, and I just wanted to start taking pictures. I'd see these beautiful sunsets, I'd see the wildlife and things that a lot of people never seen before. So I just started trying to take pictures of it. People get to see and be like, wow, that's awesome. And seeing it in somebody else's home, I appreciate it a lot. One big thing that I live by is be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Put yourself in situations to help you grow. I feel like nothing in this life comes easy, and so challenging yourself and pushing yourself to situations that you might not be the most comfortable in will grow you more as a person, and honestly appreciate the things that you've came through. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize Florida is one of the biggest cattle states in the country. I believe at one point in time we were like number 4 on the rankings, but the biggest thing about buying your food is, one, knowing where it's coming from, knowing what you're buying. Now there's a lot of regulations where you can slap a label on anything, and it's, farmers will find loopholes or whatever to get it classified as grass-fed or grass-finished or whatever. And just knowing where your food comes from. People grow in the grocery store and it's there. That what happens if it wasn't there? What are you going to do? And they don't do any research or knowing the health benefits of buying straight from a farmer. You cut out the middle guy and you see exactly from start to finish what you're eating. And I would encourage people just to educate yourself. Look up the regulations for grass-fed, finished, what a GMO is, and really do your research of what you're putting into your body as well. With every meal, especially a steak, there's meaning behind it. It's gathering around a table, especially on a place like this. All the memories that I've had over meals, whether it's in the middle of pasture, cooking a hot dog over a fire, or setting up a grill or an open fire pit and grilling a steak. It's just the connection between people and having an appreciation of where the animal came from. What the hard work that took to raise it, and the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it.